There we go.
Weak.
Yeah, we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-cold villains on the mind, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast a marlow or two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another rat-faced episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 482, recorded Monday, June 24th, 2024. Tonight we're talking about another Patreon pick. This was chosen by Matt S. The movie is The Witches from 1990. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy Randeezy. What's up, man?
What is none of your business?
Yes.
How's it going, man? Your boy is feeling like refried shit today. So, this should be real fun. I'm going to keep the energy light and very nice. And then I'm going to pass out in my chair probably for the rest of the night as soon as we've hit the record button again. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. Thanks
Gonna be great.
thanks for hanging even though you're feeling like shit, you're a true professional showing up, doing the job. No rest.
True
for the
professional.
weary.
That's the only metric by which we gauge that.
That's what
If you
everybody
show up,
says on
you're a
iTunes.
professional.
These guys are true professionals. Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got your boy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy Absolute Nutter Stains. I can't believe it's not Nutter.
Nutter?
Yeah, the Brits.
Oh,
they got the
the
crazy
margarine.
lingo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. It
She's
took me a
an
second.
absolute nutter.
Nutter.
Oh, boy.
Nutter.
That fucking
Say it
Bruno
again.
kid
I
in
need
this
to
movie.
do the British accent.
Oh god.
Dude.
That Bruno kid hates margarine with a passion. Hates it.
You're off your bleeding nut.
You're
right.
bleeding nutter. It's
Wow.
bleeding bloody nutter.
Hey, what movie is that
Everything's
from?
bleeding.
Yeah. Why? God damn.
Yeah,
They're so violent
Very
over
Catholic.
there.
it's a very Catholic area.
Those
so
red
lots of blood.
coats.
Oh, what?
Totally.
What is happening? Is it me having a fever dream, or does this not make sense at all?
Randy, you're tripping balls.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm a
God.
bloody ghost.
Oh.
Am I in the show BBC Ghosts?
Yes.
Oh God.
Oh,
Boys.
God.
Let's jump into some housekeeping here real quick. A lot of stuff actually to tackle. The year's like halfway over, which is insane.
Don't say those things to me.
Blowing
How
my
dare you.
mind.
We're just a couple weeks away from Halloween season, baby.
Dude,
Oh
like
my-
4 months from just Halloween, actual proper Halloween. It's insane.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkin. I mean, that's a third of the year, but that's, yeah, okay.
I mean, 6 months has flown, baby. What's another 4?
Yeah.
I say that to say this is your final reminder. Our July poll is currently posted on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this July. The theme for July is getting weird with it. This was my takeover month, and I chose 3 weird-ass movies about some
All
serial
right,
killers.
well, why don't we tell the crowd why you chose these? I think that you probably chose these because you're a sadist and
Yes.
you want us all to suffer.
Correct.
I thought Bob really just related to the characters in this story.
Also correct. I
It's
worked
good to
in
see
an ice
myself
cream store.
represented in film. Says
I
Bob.
love Grease and Nightmare Beaches.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
I have seen you quite greasy on a beach, Bob, so that all tracks.
slamming ice.
Are you waiting to receive my limp penis?
So greasy, the sunscreen wouldn't even rub into your skin.
Dude, that's still one of my favorite visuals. Is Rob rubbing goddamn suntan lotion
For
on
like
for
10 minutes.
like full 5-10 minutes, and it's just staying. It's just staying.
It won't
Rob
get
is
absorbed.
a pod person.
Yeah, Rob is not human because we used the exact same bottle, didn't we?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
It
know.
just
What the
went into our
fuck?
skin like normal.
Rob's
Looked like-
pores are micro.
Like somebody just painted me white. Like,
It's, that's protection I guess
Yeah.
if you think about it.
That was a funny
Uh,
moment.
Yeah.
the three movies are The Greasy Strangler, Nightmare Beach, and Ice Cream Man. Got a few more days left to vote. Get
All
it
right.
done.
How those numbers
I have
looking,
no
Bob?
further questions.
Bob? How are those numbers looking?
Pretty much about the same. Ice Cream Man first place, 42% of the vote. Nightmare Beach with 33% of the vote, and then finally Greasy Strangler, 24% of the vote. We're gonna talk about the Greasy Strangler one day. I swear, it's gonna happen.
At some point, you got to retire. That's
Dude,
been on like 10 polls at this point,
it's gotta happen. It's so
including
fucking
several of your takeovers.
yeah. I've put it on at least 2. At least.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's been
Ye-
around. It's been around the block.
Yeah. Get your votes in for the end of the month. We'll see what we're talking about this July. And other Patreon news. We're dropping mini casts every other Friday. Recently, we dropped one where I was talking about In a Violent Nature. Next up, dropping Friday, July 5th. You got your boy Randeezy on the mic talking about stop motion.
Whoa.
Man.
I
That's
need to
crazy.
finish that. I started and it was like really cool looking visuals and stuff like that. Good
an-
to see stop motion back in swing.
Can't stop
It's a
it.
cool little movie.
Yeah.
It's always in
Interesting
motion.
movie, and man, I rambled like a motherfucker on that episode, so that should be great listening too.
It's on
Sweet.
Shudder.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one yet. Heard some good rumblings.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Maybe I should check it out. In other Patreon news, we just yesterday, at the time of us recording this show, reopened the You Pick the Flick tier for the final time this year.
Possibly forever. We discussed this last week. We don't know if
Yes.
it'll ever open again. We'll see.
You fear
Justin's
monger.
Justin's cult has a doomsday already, and it's before the new year, so
So
We really
bang it
planning
out while you
around
can, folks.
yeah.
Get it in while you can get it in.
I'm gonna look for a guy with a round, muscular butt.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Only
yeah,
butt
we-
stuff.
That's the only place you can touch me, on the butt. We reopened the You Pick the Flick tier. It was 10 spots. They went to 10 people. Congratulations for everybody that was able to grab a spot. They went pretty quickly, still, even with 10 spots. So congratulations to Logan, Miles, Brandon, Nate, Naderade, Lou, Gabriel, G-Baby, Vince, and the Librarian.
All right.
Yeah. Well done,
That's
patrons.
that's like the heart with the squad right there.
It is,
Bravo.
yeah.
Yeah. I know several people were just like refreshing for hours. I feel kind
Aw.
of bad when people say that. Like,
Especially because we waited till 8 p.m. on Saturday Eastern. No, I'm just-
Totally.
just
Totally.
making them refresh all day.
I felt bad, but I didn't feel that bad
If
enough
I
to
was in
not
charge.
make several jokes about the time already coming to pass. Like, oh, they're gone. Just
Wait
kidding.
till 11:40 p.m.
Just kidding. And it's live. Everybody's asleep. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Thanks. Thanks for grabbing a spot, guys. Get those U picks in if you haven't already, and we'll be adding you to the list. And that's all I got, folks. You guys have anything you need to plug?
My house is clean.
I have one thing, which I mentioned last week, which is that I'm on a new episode of Waxing the Porpoise with our boys, Jim and Steve, talking about Lake Mungo, the found footage faux documentary from
Fuck
Australia.
documentary.
Fuck documentary. No, that's
Not a porno. It's a fuck
That's-
doc.
that's on the VHS tapes in my lower cabinet. No, this is a
VHS.
Extra
very
grainy.
moody found footage thing. Yeah, of course. And it's my poop tapes, as we call them. Yeah. So that's it. That's all I have. As just that. Thanks very much to those guys at Waxing the Porpoise for hosting me on that episode. We had a good time. Check it out on podcast catchers of your choice.
Nice. I think we're
Alright.
clean.
We're clean,
Oh,
boys.
we're all the way clean. Oh,
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about The Witches. Let's kick it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Mom, I saw you had this box.
I do. I got it on the Blu-ray.
All right. Got
Warner
to.
Brothers.
how's that release? Good
gotta do
release.
it.
Yeah,
Looks-
it's fine.
Looks
There's like,
standard.
yeah, there's not really any bonus features on it, but it is, you know, a movie on a disc that I'm holding and can watch anytime I want to. There you go.
There you go.
Whoa,
That's my
brag about
pitch.
it.
Anytime you want to, except when the electricity goes out.
Yeah.
Not if you have a
Except when you want to
generator.
watch something on your phone.
Yeah, so The Witches from 1990. This was rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour and 31 minutes. This was directed by Nicholas Roeg, based on a story by Roald Dahl. The screenplay was written by Alan Scott. Stars Angelica Houston, Mai Zetterling, Jason Fisher, Rowan Atkinson is also in this one, Bill Patterson, and my personal favorite, your boy Charlie Potter playing Bruno in this.
That's your
Uh,
favorite.
My favorite.
We've got 3 cars.
Oh, you know, Bruno.
Bloody nutters.
Oh, yeah. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. A young boy stumbles onto a witch convention and must stop them even after he has been turned into a mouse.
Oh my God.
Gentleman's. I love how you fuck the bump and just do it yourself.
Yeah, Randy generating enough energy to get that one out.
Oh,
My
I'm gonna replace the bumps
God.
with my like 10% energy reads instead.
You
Is
can't-
that cool?
Piss on hospitality. I won't
Oh.
allow it.
There's gonna be hell to pay.
Gentlemen, have you seen this movie before? And would you recommend folks check it out? Randeezy, kick us off.
Yeah, I've seen this movie a good number of times. This is definitely one that I watched as a kid growing up. I remember watching this. I vividly remember watching this in a classroom setting, like a substitute day or something like that.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how many times I've seen it, but I want to say it's probably closing in on double digits. But it has been a while. I definitely recommend this for families, like a family viewing or whatever. It's good entry level horror for kids under 10, I would say, maybe over 5 or 6, right in that sweet spot there. I think for adults who like Roald Dahl and things like that, it's worth looking into. If you're big into Jim Henson, this is a Henson production as well, and has some of his hallmark great practical effects and so on, makeup work. So for those reasons, I would recommend it. Yeah. If you're not into any of that stuff, then probably not for you.
Right on. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I'd seen this before. I've seen it several times as well. And I would say, yeah, this is top tier for kind of like must watch children's horror. If you're gonna, yeah, if you've got kids, you want to introduce them to some horror, or you're just feeling like something light yourself, then I think that this is brings a lot to the table. And I will say though that as an adult, this watch, I think I wasn't in that particular mood, I found. And so it was a little bit more taxing on me just kind of like watching it by myself. So it's not an absolute like it's no like Nightmare Before Christmas or something as far as like the kids horror levels type goes, but it's good. It's like generally I've always like enjoyed watching it. So yeah, I would recommend people check this out. Bob, how about you?
Good shit.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely get some good shit in there for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, I'd seen this before as a kid. I don't know how many times, but I remember there's like certain moments of this movie that's just like seared into my brain that
Yeah.
I haven't seen this in at least a decade. And as the movie was playing, there are moments that hit that I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ. Just
Oh
like
God, yeah, that's the spot. Yeah.
We've got
yes,
3 cars.
Oh God, yes.
I
Oh,
got
yeah.
rolled doll. Yes.
That scalp skin. Yeah. Oh, I
Mm.
love it.
Jesus Christ.
Weird. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Sort of a blast from the past in that way. I definitely think this is a hitter when it comes to children's horror, like spooky stuff for kids. It's actually like kind of scary. Scared me as a kid, anyways. So yeah, if you got young ones, show it to them maybe around Halloween. You know, it'd be kind of perfect to watch this and like Gremlins or something. Nice double feature. But yeah, it's not made for adults, so it's if the first time you're watching it, you're in your 30s, you're probably not going to love it, but it does exactly what it sets out to do, I think. So yeah, check it out. It's worth watching. Pretty much, I'd call that a solid recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the three of us here.
Qualified.
So check out The Witches, and if you haven't already, we're going to spoil the shit out of this. And here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, do you have this plot synopsis?
I got it. I got
All
it
right.
for you, and
Hit
only
me
for
with
you.
it.
Nobody else listen to
Ooh.
this. This is just for Justin.
All right.
You got it, boss.
Skip ahead 10 minutes, everyone.
10
oh,
minutes.
yeah.
I'll be quicker than that.
I don't believe you.
So here we go. Vacationing in Norway, his grandmother Helga, with his grandmother Helga, 8-year-old Luke learns about the existence of real witches. His grandmother says they have no hair, but wear wigs that give them rashes. They also have no toes, and they have purple eyes. Grandma also tells a story of her childhood friend Emily being cursed by a witch to live out her life trapped in a painting. After Luke's parents die in a car accident, Helga becomes his legal guardian. On Luke's 9th birthday, his grandma's diagnosed with diabetes, and the doctor says they ought to spend the summer by the sea to help somehow. They go stay at a very beautiful...
That's that British medical system.
Right? Just go by the water. It'll be fine.
Diabetes? Well, go hang out by the beach.
Need some salt. They go stay at a very beautiful seaside hotel where Luke befriends a gluttonous young boy named Bruno. There's also an annual witch convention happening at the hotel under the guise of the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Luke hides in the ballroom. They are. Luke hides out in the ballroom as the Grand High Witch addresses her audience. She explains all witches will buy candy stores and on opening day give out free candy to all the children. However, the candy will be laced with Formula 86, which will turn all the children in England into mice. She gave Bruno a poisoned chocolate bar earlier and brings him on stage so the crowd can watch him transform into a mouse. The witches then smell Luke hiding out after some... they smell Luke hiding. Apparently kids smell like shit in this movie. So to witches,
nothing
anyway.
I'd ever smelled before in my life.
They smell him and chase him around. There's a bit of cat and mouse tomfoolery. After that, they bring him back to the ballroom and they feed him the formula, and he also turns into a mouse. He scampers off and meets up with Bruno. They, with the help of Grandma, steal a vial of Formula 86 from the Grand High Witch's ballroom, or just room, actually. They plan to poison the witch's dinner. Grandma tries to return Bruno to his parents, but they're terrified by mice. All the witches enter the ballroom for dinner, and where am I at? They all enter the ballroom for dinner. Except for the Grand High Witch's assistant, Susan Irvine, who has been banned from the dinner, and she quits. The witches all consume they all consume the poisoned soup and turn into mice. The other hotel patrons all begin killing the mice, thus ridding England of all of its witches. Bruno's parents finally accept that their son is indeed a mouse. Luke and his grandma return home with the Grand High Witch's trunk, which is full of money, and an address book with a list of all the witches in America. That night, Miss Irvine visits Luke and turns him back into a human. He and his grandma plan to hunt down all the remaining witches in America and kill them. Roll them credits.
Rock flag and eagle.
That's right.
There is a naked prepubescent child at the end of this.
Yeah.
That's troubling.
Quite. Like you can kind of see everything.
Bob, you knocked it out in 3.5 minutes. There you go.
Hell yeah.
A story like this, you need to take your
Professional.
time with it. Um,
A lot happening here.
yeah,
That's
big
10
story
That's
going
not.
on here.
It's like 10 skips. So, trying to help the listeners out for next time.
They want to hear it. They want to hear it. But yeah, this movie, when I remember watching it as a kid, and it actually really did scare me. The practical effects, like when the witches are transforming and when the kids are transforming,
Dude.
like that Jim Henson like puppetry stuff is like super scary, and it's like lit in broad daylight too, so you can see
Yeah.
everything, and it's like green and goopy and smoky and I don't know, it really fucking scared me as a kid. Did you guys see this when you were younger? I assume so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I will say not only that, but I feel like Jim Henson is responsible for a lot of things that really troubled me as a child. But to be fair, even watching it as an adult, it's still as much stuff as we watch. This is gross. There's some gross shit
Yeah.
in here for like a
Yeah.
kid's horror movie. The effects in this are really like, the gold standard here, and like they kind of like probably the best aspect of this film. It's got a lot going for it, but it's like it's really gross. Their scalps and just like the fucking saggy skin and just
Yeah.
it's so
Their
disgusting.
claws. Well, the
Yeah.
Grand High Witch
Yeah.
alone, Angelica Houston is wearing just a boatload of fucking prosthetics, and she's unrecognizable. And when like she disappears into the role, even I think where like I don't see Angelica Houston when the Grand High Witch is in full swing. She's
Yeah.
not Angelica Houston anymore. She's just like this fucking gleeful troll looking motherfucker with
Mhm.
insane hot dog fingers and shit. It's great. Um, I don't know, like the effects are so good in those bits, but I will say like the way this movie is shot is so plain, I think. Like
Really?
yeah, I don't know like if you guys disagree, but like I don't know, like it felt almost like made for TV at times with some of the like just general shots of the kids wandering or whatever. It didn't have like it felt like there was a quality disparity there for me.
I could see that. It doesn't bother me, but I could definitely see it.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
thought
saying
there
it's a huge
was
issue, but I was noticing it because I was being more critic guy in this one. Go ahead,
I
Bob.
thought there was some interesting camera work going on here that actually like specifically when we were following the mice around or like when someone is transforming, definitely not the whole movie, but like in like really
Right.
intense action scenes, there was some like a lot of like really kinetic movement happening with the camera. In some situations, it even like kind of reminded me of some stuff that like Sam Raimi was doing in like The Evil Dead, like the way
Yeah.
the camera was like following these tiny mice running all over the place. It kind of had that vibe for me. So that kind of stood out to me as like a positive, honestly.
Well, I think that yeah, we're talking about two different parts of the movie then, because like
Yeah.
I agree that like there was a shot that I didn't connect it to Sam Raimi, but there was a shot when his parents are leaving where it's clearly on like a handy cam of some kind or whatever, and it reminded me of like a Monty Python movie, like where like it's just like kind of shaky cammed or whatever, and it's just but it's like got a kinetic movement to or whatever. It's not terrible when it's doing that sort of thing. It's when things are like placid and calm. It's like very like I think it's the color maybe. The colors like
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like aren't like I feel like it could
Tan.
be really amped up. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
a
it
very
is
tan
tan.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, except for when shit's like really popping off. But yeah,
Mm.
I also think like in addition to the really horrific practical effects in this, it's the flip side of the coin is like when Luke and Bruno are turned into mice, like when they're
Yeah.
actually mice, they're like adorable. They're just these tiny little
They
cute
look
little mice
good, yeah. And
running
actually,
around.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like a positive change for me because these kids are goobers. And
They
Yeah.
are. They
they're
are.
they're little
It makes them way more
goobers.
likable.
It does make them a lot more likable. And also too, I mean, so that's a positive. I do agree with the mice being a positive and they look great. So yeah, it's just not it's not just going like full nasty with it. But I will say
Oh, nasty.
the word grandma is said a fucking bajillion goddamn times in this
Yeah.
movie. Holy God, was it like was it fucking annoying the shit out of me this time. It's like, holy God, we know it's your grandma.
I didn't notice that somehow. I'm
Dude,
sure
it was
I'm sure
driving
was.
me
He does say it a lot.
crazy.
It didn't drive me crazy. Like, but you're totally right. Looking back, he definitely said that.
Grandma! Like, he's just got this kind of tone to him too. Grandma.
The thing is, like, the kid actors in this,
Fuck.
yeah, like they're not great. They're not great. I enjoy them, and they're kids or whatever, and they play authentically as kids, so there is some
Yeah.
positive to that, but it makes it like, I don't know, the line reads in like in a vacuum just aren't good for the most part,
Mhm.
and that's what makes it like the mice so much better because they're more expressive somehow than the kids know how to be yet. Like,
The puppets.
The puppets.
Are more it's
they're
true
better
though.
at conveying,
They do.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
I really do.
I mean, Jim Henson has been around the block. You know, he knows what he's doing. These kids
can make you
don't.
fall
They have
in love
not
with
been
felt.
around the block.
Yeah.
With felt, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious, though. These
It is.
inanimate.
It is, and I don't want to like diss on these kids too bad.
These
'cause they're
kids
just,
are
Well,
like stupid.
they feel authentic, and I gotta give them credit for that. Like
They
these
do.
feel like real kids.
But if
They-
you do,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that's why I was kind of saying, like, if you do a side by side, like, I know Bob, you just recently watched it, but I know you had some problems with it. But if you took this and you put like the Goonies next to it, or even like Hocus Pocus or something, the acting level is significantly
yeah, there's a difference.
yeah,
Different,
different
yeah.
between those. So while I watched this movie, I was like, this is really good for kids, and it has that kind of innocent vibe. Like, even for it's kind of, I guess maybe one of the more difficult things is the balance here, because the effects are so effective and there is some dark stuff going on here, but the tone is very younger child, almost like 5 or 6, just coming out of like a kind of like toddler state almost. Or that's what it feels. I don't know.
It's third
The
grade
tone,
storytelling.
yeah, the tone of it feels like very, very young, but then some of the effects are like, damn, that still fucks with me as an adult who's seen a lot of horror. So yeah, it's kind of a weird balance there.
I agree, and it's like it's interesting that they went as hard as they did on that stuff, considering the tone they went for, which is in
Yeah.
keeping with the Roald Dahl stories. Like those are very simple stories with very simple, like, you know, morality tales or whatever. And whatever you think of Roald Dahl, I grew up loving him, and like I guess he was not a good dude. But
What?
setting all that aside, like I think that there's something interesting about like you were pointing out. There's just something different, interesting about there being like not Night of the Living Dead. What am I thinking of? Oh fuck. What is that? The Crypt Keeper. Tales from the Crypt. It's like
Oh.
Tales from the Crypt level effects, like grossness
Mhm.
mixed with a like Willy Wonka level storytelling. You know what I mean? It's just very strange, and it makes it dreamier, and I like
Yeah.
that about it.
Yeah, Willy Wonka is a good comparison. Like, you know, like that's the thing. The tone of this, I would even say it's even a little more childish than Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah,
and
there's no
stuff.
poverty in this.
Well, but but I mean, the kids' parents die,
But grandma's
that's true.
loaded apparently, so
Yeah, she
Keep
is now. She
ballin'.
has all the witch's money.
but
Her
even
nondescript money.
even grandma sometimes the way sometimes she just seems kind of dumb, or I don't know, it's played so innocent or so childlike that you're like, even the
So-
adults aren't really making adult decisions here.
grandma,
broad.
I read into the movie that she was kind of playing dumb, maybe for the benefit of her grandson, because she was like some sort of opponent of the Grand High Witch earlier in life. So like she knows what's going on. She knows about witches. She's kind of schooling them, but like maybe to not make them too terrified. I don't know. Like she seems knowledgeable, right? But
Yeah,
I
she
don't know, but it's when
does.
shit's going down that she's like I don't know, like she doesn't really like bring a lot of
To the
like
table.
know-how to the table. She knows how to identify these things, and that's like
Yeah.
that's all established the first lines of this movie, and then from there she's like taken aback by every step of it. Her
Yeah.
grandson, she gets drugged, her grandson gets turned into a mouse, and she resigns herself to that just being his fate after her like daughter and son just died. I don't know, like the way that she acts about things, like okay, like taking Bruno the first time to his parents,
Yeah.
the way that she like reveals that to them is it's so childlike in the way that she approaches it that I just feel like it feels very tailored to kids in every way, and there's
Yeah.
no way I can ding this movie
And
for
in
that,
the way
you know
the
what I
parents
mean?
respond to it, it's all
Right.
kind of it's just childlike, I guess. I mean, it's made for children, so it makes sense.
Exactly. Like, what am I gonna like be pissed about that? It's why didn't
Yeah.
they make this children's movie
When-
more adult? God damn it!
Well, yeah, no. But it
I
is worth
was-
pointing out that
It
I can
is.
still watch. I mean, even so, we all have nostalgia for this, but I can watch like the Goonies or a Hocus Pocus without so much of that problem. Yeah, that's still got maybe some of that,
Yeah.
but you know,
Right.
it definitely
This-
shown a lot more for this.
This is a
movie.
It's just-
younger aimed at a younger audience,
Yeah.
I think.
Exactly.
For
Like this was not doing the thing where they try and bridge to the older people in the family so much. At least
Mhm.
not in any way except for maybe the special effects. Those movies like Hocus Pocus is supposed to appeal to young kids, teens, and parents.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
appealing to
yeah,
everyone because
yeah,
there's like
sure.
Madonna's tits jokes in that and whatever. Like,
Dude, but there's a whole little
Yabos, Randy.
subplot here about this,
sorry.
about fucking
sorry.
Mr. Bean fucking
Just-
around.
Yeah, that was weird. I forgot
Slamming
that
one of the
entirely.
housekeepers, one of his
Yeah.
employees.
Yeah.
Man, that shit. There's some pretty funny stuff in this, to be honest. Like the whole Mr. Bean thing is hilarious. The kids just smelling like literal dog shit, I thought was pretty funny.
Dog's droppings.
Open up a can of whiff-ass.
But they don't say like when he's in the room, they don't say I smell a child or and that's done a lot with witches. They're like I
They, like
smell
recoil.
dog droppings
Dog
or whatever.
droppings.
It's such a
Yeah.
weird thing.
The
I mean, I think that's very much the thing is I think that's true to the book if I'm
sure,
remembering
yeah.
it right,
that might be kind of telling about the author. That shit is it's hilarious to me though. I think that's very very
Yeah.
funny.
Kids really smell like shit.
The witches, they had that right.
Literal shit.
Bruno, I find pretty funny in this, and also his dad is like such a complete piece
I like
of
Bruno's
shit.
dad.
in
Yeah,
this
Bruno's dad cracks
movie.
me up a lot.
Also pretty funny. So there's like some like adult humor because he's like trying to lay some mac down on the high
guess that's
witch.
true.
And, like,
Yeah.
she's just.
But it
not
feels
really-
lighter than
Yeah,
like something
yeah.
like
Sure.
the Madonna jokes or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. Yeah.
you don't. It doesn't rely on cultural knowledge. It only relies on very broad stereotypes and conversations that adults might have, like with a blowhard dipshit.
I
And
want
having her be very
crust
dismissive of him.
soup.
I love how Angelica Houston
of
is
shit.
like. Angelica Houston like blows him off so hard, and he's like trying to mac on her in front of his wife. And shit.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Then
What
the
a
wife's
fucking
just
loser.
like, just happy about it.
Yeah. I don't know,
Oh.
man. That's
I,
a
ass-
weird.
I
I
assumed
didn't
there was
love
some kind
Bruno,
of
though,
like
myself.
seduction thing going on, like a manipulation
yeah.
thing, but then she
Ah.
never really took. Yeah, I don't, that was kind of a weird thing that I
I
thought was gonna
wouldn't-
play out a little more.
I wouldn't read that into it just because he's like so consistently a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
But maybe
I don't think- I think he's just supposed to like the thing is like anything that's not directly narratively important to what's the kid
Bruno.
and like
Luke?
yeah the secret Luke, like everything that
Yeah.
happens to Luke and grandma, that's the story. All the other characters like the dad or whatever, they're just archetypes. They're just there to maybe make a few one-off jokes that kids may or may not get, but just to sort of fill things out. Like they're not like this movie is not trying to overburden itself at all, and that's wise considering, like we said, who it's for. So
Yeah.
I can't fault it too hard for that either, or at least I don't really want to.
There was something that I was waiting on like some dots to be connected. 'Cause like I said, I haven't seen this movie in several years, so I didn't remember everything. But after Luke's parents pass away, his grandma buys him 2 mice. And then later in the movie, when they're turned into mice, I was like, well, maybe they didn't die. Maybe they were just turned into mice by witches. And at the end of the movie, they'll be turned back. Or when he's
That's
a
good
mouse,
call.
he can talk to his parents and
Yeah,
realize
it
they're
seems-
still alive and they can all get out together. But they never really do anything at all with the mice that is given to him that he brings to the hotel. They might as well not be in the movie
Yeah.
at all. They don't
Yeah.
actually do
I
anything.
think they only really exist for 2 purposes. One is to show people being afraid of mice, especially the wait staff or whatever, and how
In
like
the
dangerous
hotel,
that
yeah,
makes it
because they're
for
like,
them
we
later.
can't have mice in the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, and then also to establish that he is building some like mega complex for his rats that are he's eventually gonna inhabit himself, but like not important details. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
that's a
anything
good
that couldn't
call
been
though,
established
Bob, yeah.
elsewhere.
Yeah, they kind of like his parents die in a car crash, and it seems like that should be more of a focal point of the movie, but they just kind of move right along,
That
and they
kid
really
seems
don't revisit it
fine.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an
If
excuse
you-
for him to be living with his grandma,
His
which
grandma, yeah,
his parents don't really need to die for that to happen. Like, she can live with them.
yeah, or
He
he
can
could go
just-
stay with her for the summer, or
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Whatever.
Like there's no I don't know. And there's a lot of threads in this though that don't get resolved. Like I love the little girl with the painting story just as like just as an
Yeah.
enclosed evil thing. Like it felt very Are You Afraid of the Dark to me, and I loved that. But then Angelica Houston sees a little girl in a picture frame at the hotel,
Yeah.
and it's just like I guess the only thing it accomplishes is just showing that she's like gleefully evil, which we see in every other thing she does. So
Yeah. I love
I don't
that
know.
story where like the dad, and I love this idea. He sends his little girl down the street to get a liter of milk, like all
Yeah.
alone, and then she gets got by a
Yeah.
witch. Like that idea is like so nobody would ever do that, you know? Like go down the road alone, child, for any
don't know, man.
reason.
I
you know?
mean, grandma's telling the
People
story
send-
from when she was, so this was made in 1990, and so grandma's, let's say, in her 70s, 60s.
Sure. I'm
German.
saying now.
Oh,
like,
now.
not
what
now.
a quaint
now.
idea.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah,
I was like, people
that's
would
true.
do that. Bob.
I'm sure
People
yeah,
do
of
send their
course.
kids on errands, but not these days, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
That's
you could
it's a
get the
very
kids to.
horrific idea to live your entire life trapped in a painting and then just die in a
It
vanish.
is. No, yeah.
It's
is.
very grim, and it's
It
like
is grim.
extremely dark. Like there's a few moments like that where it's like, whoa, that is way darker than the cadence of this movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of you got to rub at it just a little bit, and you're like,
Because
okay,
nobody,
holy
they're
shit.
not saved. Like, they're not taken out of the
No.
paintings or whatever. Even
Yeah.
honestly, we don't know, at the very end, this witch just comes along and wraps everything up in a nice bow, but we never actually see Bruno get saved.
Yeah.
Stuff
Hey,
like, and
Rob.
honest, no.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was gonna say, even up until that point, it was kind of sad where they were just like, I'm gonna live like a mouse, and like the grandma's weeping, and the kid's like, no, grandma, it's okay. I'm gonna live like a mouse. How long do mice live, or whatever? It's like, that's pretty dark.
How
in
long do
itself.
mice live? That
Yeah,
line
it's
It's like, oh my god, I can't believe they included that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask Bob, do you want to spill the beans on that trivia, or should I? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know exactly, so go for it.
Well, okay, so that ending is a famous rewrite from the book. In the book, the kids stay mice. That's how the book ends.
Mm.
And in fact, Roald Dahl saw this cut of the movie and tried to get his name removed from it. He was so upset and so pissed off that they would do that. Eventually, I guess Jim Henson talked him out of that in some way. But yeah, that was a big bone of contention. And so like in the original story, Roald Dahl does have some bleak shit in his books. It's very
Oh, yeah.
light and childlike, but there's some dark shit under the surface there too. So I don't think that's incongruous. However, I do think it would have been a huge fucking bummer if they had just ended with him being a mouse. I think they could have sidestepped it. I think they played the grandma crying scene and that ADR bit with Luke to make us really feel the sadness about his situation so
Yeah.
that they could then Deus Ex
Save
Machina it.
him, yeah.
But the thing about it is this woman has no reason to help them. Wouldn't she just take over as the High Witch? Wouldn't she
Yeah.
just
Yeah, when she just bring
try and
over
get the
some
money
witches
back?
from America, yeah.
Why
So
does she
she's-
suddenly like kids? I don't get it.
She's hinted at being a good witch, because when she is, you have to very much read into it. It's barely hinted. Whenever they all go to dinner and kind of kick her out of their little squad, and then she quits, she sits down and says, well, I never wanted to be like them anyways. So she's, I guess, the one
Yeah.
good witch in the batch.
Yeah.
or
Well, that's the
something.
thing is I kind of feel like that whole thing was very hastily added in the end to the
Mhm.
point where I kind of feel like she wasn't maybe even a character before they were already shooting. You know what I mean? It feels that
Maybe.
slapdash to me.
Yeah.
I would have been
Pretty
fine
tacked
if they
on.
ended it with them staying as mice. You don't even necessarily have to say how long do mice live, but yeah, I
Right.
mean, because I mean, if I did read, I can't remember, I did read, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory book, and it might
Yeah.
do a similar type of thing where in the movie of Charlie and the original Willy Wonka movie,
Yeah.
they do make like a throwaway line of kind of like, yeah, and all the kids will be restored as normal,
Good
just
as
as
new,
bad
yeah.
as they were before they came in or whatever. But I'm thinking now, and I'm like, that's probably not in the book either. So
Oh
in the
no.
book of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you probably just assume these fucking kids are dead, and they don't tell you otherwise.
Well,
That I mean, well,
no,
you know,
no. I can tell you the answer to that actually. Like
oh, okay,
the kids don't die. They are seen at the end of that book,
okay,
but they all have like very significant changes. The one that
alteration,
the one that I remember is I think it was Violet Beauregard, who was the blueberry. She was squeezed, and so she's like 6 feet tall and rail thin now, or some shit.
oh, okay, okay,
Like
okay.
shit like that. Like they clearly come
Like
out the other end
there was
worse
some
for the wear.
punishment, yeah, that came with
Right.
it.
Like
Yeah.
they're altered in the same way that him like Luke being a mouse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like pretty freakishly altered.
Yeah.
This guy
So
really hated kids, right? Like, seems like
maybe.
that's
And
consistent throughout his work. Did you guys notice whenever Angelica Houston was on stage and she brings Bruno up for like his transformation, like as he's approaching the stage, she's like
Yes.
rolling her pelvis in a very sexual way.
Yes. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
noticed that.
Really
That's-
a weird moment.
It was. And even when
I
he's
read some-
transforming, everyone's having like this group orgasm.
I watched
Weird.
I don't remember what it was, but like I felt like I heard somewhere that like that was part of the direction. Like she's like the Grand High Witch should be like sexual even if she's in her like fucking disgusting makeup or whatever. Like she's got a sexual element to her, and I don't know why that is. I feel like what is the morality tale in that? Like I feel like it's a
It only
probably
happens
would-
when the kid enters which was like the weird part. Like,
well, that was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weirdest one, but like she's constantly like doing like the
Yeah.
like
Mm.
she's got a little bit of
But
like
in
a
that
sway to
moment,
her.
I
She's-
think if I remember right, because it was like freaking me out. But like when he's transforming, I thought like all the witches were kind of like getting in on it too, or whatever. And I was like,
they
this
may
is
have
weird.
been. I just remember focusing
Yeah.
on. It looks like she's about to soak her draws.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
I know what
yeah.
you're talking
Well,
about.
damn girl.
I think of it like in that moment, like yes, she kind of looks like that, but she's also like narratively she's repulsed by this thing. So it's like almost like sexually heaving, dry heaving.
Ugh.
That's fucking weird. Yeah. It's very strange. But
Sounds
you know, she's
vanilla
supposed to
to
be
me.
repulsive.
I'm dry
so
heaving in my draws.
that's just what people like,
Dry
man. That's just what they
heaving.
like.
Yes,
That's what a boy likes.
Damn, I don't even know what
I
that
don't
means.
know if I like that. I don't
Sexual
think
dry heaving.
I don't think I like that.
But yeah, I like, so I will say too, another kind of so the thing that always sticks out to me is the transformation scenes. Bruno is, that's a big thing with the smoke, and then the kind of like sweaty little rat face that you get, and then the transformation, and then of course at the end the big transformation, and them all kind of going through that same process. But after that, so I was kind of surprised by a couple of things. After that, or well, okay, no, that didn't happen until more than halfway through the film. So it was right around, I think, the 45-minute mark, and this movie's right at like a little bit shorter, I think, than 90 minutes. And so the whole first half is a lot of setup. And then after that, I did kind of get frustrated by the kind of running around until we get to the diner scene. So
Same.
the going into the room and just like crawling through the hallways or getting to grandma, and just again, like grandma has said a bajillion fucking times, like grandma, like, oh my dude.
That second act really draws on,
It
man.
did, yeah. I really felt it this time. Them like the kitchen is fine, but like, I feel like by the time he gets to the kitchen, he's going through all the thing. Like that scene is fine to me, but I feel like all the previous scenes kind of wore me out to where I was just like, all right, I'm kind of ready to move on
That
here.
the kitchen scene is one of the scenes that really is burned into my memory from when I saw it as a kid. Like the idea of a rat or a mouse crawling up your pant leg, like into
Yeah,
your crotch, like
that's
mortified
horrible.
me.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's I don't know. I still have like a bit of that. I don't know, that sort of horrific reaction when I watch that scene. But it's funny, it's goofy. They're like trying to take his pants off, and he refuses to stop mixing the bowl, like
Yeah,
with the
he
rat
kept
in his fucking
mixing. That was
Mr.
pretty
Bean
funny.
takes the bowl
yeah, and
mixes it.
he keeps going. So it's
That's one of
funny,
the scenes
but,
that
like, yeah.
I had the exact opposite feeling about that scene. Is like I kind of always forget about that
Mm.
scene and like how the movie was. I think that like the thing that always sticks out in my head in this movie is the first all the way up until the transformation, and then a little bit after, maybe a couple of odd things here and there. But like when they transform into mice and they have their first couple conversations as mice, I think that's like I'm just like, okay, where does this go again? I don't
Yeah,
remember how they
that's
resolved this
fair.
shit.
Yeah.
Because that's the seminal scene for me. But like there's a lot of cool shit I think that happens on the front end with like the painting thing, like shit like that I like. But the final transformation of the Grand High Witch into a mouse, that's great, and
It
I can't believe
is.
that I forget that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I forget that
She's
part.
so
'Cause it really is
heinous
really, really
looking.
cool.
Also, shortly after that, when Mr. Bean cleaves her and her like mouse blood
Yeah.
spatters on his face, that's like a pretty gruesome thing to have in a child's movie.
You're
Yeah.
an inhuman monster!
It is.
Yeah, it is. Like, and also like the way people crush these witch mice and they like spurt like little like water balloons filled with green tempera paint. I love
Nah.
that. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why you don't piss off the wait staff. They're gonna poison your soup, and you're gonna turn into a mouse and get cleaved or stomped to death.
Yeah.
I feel like this hotel was going to close down as soon as Donald Sutherland showed up anyway. There's definitely a rat shit in their soup.
Oh, there's fresh shit everywhere.
If it's a
Yeah, there
caper,
is.
eat it.
Eat it.
Eat
Uh,
it.
I will. R.I.P. Pour one out.
Pour one out for
That
Donald
just happened,
Sutherland.
yeah.
I know,
Yes,
man.
Damn. Yeah.
What a bummer. That's
Sex symbol that he is.
He was.
If you guys haven't listened to our Invasion of the Body Snatchers episode, there's a short little moment where we're talking about him being a sex icon, and Randy hesitates really hard because
he's not sure if he's dead or
if he's
not,
dead.
which
Yeah,
is crazy.
You don't know
that
to
he
say
just
like he
He
is
died,
a
like,
sex
2 days
icon or
later.
was a sex icon. Yeah, and then he
fucking
died like a
nuts.
week after. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
brought that
Randy's-
upon the poor man.
I know.
Randy's pause in
guy.
that moment is funny as
so
fuck. But then yeah,
funny.
it's crazy. The timing is insane.
But yeah, I will say, I was gonna say the effects, not only are the effects good for like the transformation scenes, but I like the more kind of subtle things that they do too, where she's putting on the face. Like sometimes
Oh,
she'll
yeah.
be in her room and just
Yeah,
the
dude,
way that they, so I will say that those are creative shots because you have
Yeah, I
this
would
like
say
fake
that.
face and like the way that they position the camera, and it looks like she's able to just like slap it on, which is for a kid's movie, I will say that's really effective and fun. Because you have spy movies that do shit like that, Mission Impossible, where people change their face completely. But to have these ridiculous proportions, her nose is so
Right.
fucking long, but to put on this this mask and look like a regular person, that's such a fun kid aspect, and I think they do a really good job with those scenes.
I agree. It's kind of like an Edgar from Men in Black situation where it's like I
Yeah.
love that what they cram into this form.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know, and it's like it works. It's interesting because like it's very cartoonish, and actually now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how I didn't remember this until just now, but the illustrations in the book look like these grotesque creatures look like the illustrations Roald Dahl put together in the book. They're clearly inspired by that. I had forgotten that, but like he drew them as quite fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
So like it's very true to the book in that way, which is crazy actually, because it's extra grotesque in life. I don't know. It's like when you see people taking kids' drawings and professional artists redoing them and making like whatever they drew into like hyper realism or whatever. Or when you see those illustrations of like Homer Simpson but with real skin like textures and shit like that. And it's very fucking uncanny and strange.
Yeah.
That's kind of the note that hits with this. It's still cartoonish though because it's literally based on a cartoon.
Yeah. But yeah, they play all the flesh tones and they're not green and purple or something. It looks like real saggy skin. It's really
Hell
funny.
yeah.
Every there's like just a bunch of like ball looking folds all over them.
Yeah,
like it's fucked up.
And even their chins are just they're
Her
so
chin looks like a ball sack.
disgusting
Like we can
looking.
get like a hairy ball sack for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Is that my ball sack on her?
A ball chinian.
It's a speaking of Men in Black deep cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Anything
know.
else you guys have to hit on?
I don't know
before
what
we
else to
rate
say about
thing?
this movie.
I would even say actually, even the women, I guess they do a good job. All the women who play witches, even when they're not in their witch form, when they're they're being kind of devious and stuff, they do a good job. I think they play up the cheesiness of these. They pick these kind of women who just seem, I don't know. I think they do a good job of.
Did you notice there's a lot of dudes in
There's
there
a lot of
playing
dudes.
women?
I did actually. I did
Yeah.
know. Well, I actually didn't notice there were a lot of dudes. I noticed like a couple. I was like, I think that's a dude.
Like
There's
half
a
the
few,
background
yeah,
witches
yeah.
are
Okay.
men or
That makes sense because I was thinking of this idea of taking this idea of what kids would imagine women who would be disguised as witches, and kind of playing that up. I thought that they captured that well, so it kind of makes sense that they would have like some dudes.
yeah.
I didn't
probably
know there
had a
was
lot
that
of fun, I would
many.
think.
Probably, yeah. It seemed
Yeah.
like
Maybe, like-
everybody was kind of having. Everybody was
Yeah.
leaning into it like the perfect amount.
Yeah.
It also just feels like this movie does the same thing that Willy Wonka does, where it kind of just doesn't feel like it belongs to any specific time or place, even though
Yeah.
they're in specific times or places.
It
It
does feel a
feels
little timeless, yeah.
distant from reality in that way, like dreamlike in that way, where it's like
And the setting helps with that. The coast and this
Yeah.
hotel. You're separated from a kind of
and
society.
multinational kids and things. Yeah, like there's definitely some of that helps with it. But I don't even remember where they are when they're at the hotel itself. But I know they started in Germany, right? And then they ended up
Probably Blackstool.
And then they went back to
Yes,
England,
of
I think.
course.
Yeah. I think they went back to England, but I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really
I
matter.
think they're hanging out in Blackstool.
This movie oddly reminds me of Brain Dead.
And,
Yeah.
remind me.
It's that one with the lawnmower.
Yeah, with all the super
pudding.
practical effects and the pudding, but sub that for the soup.
The mom
like,
gets
the
Yabos,
transformation.
they're all saggy and gross.
It's just like a way more hardcore adult version, kind of. But it feels it's like in a faraway in New Zealand.
Maybe
in a
because of
faraway
those kind of
land.
like practical effects. Maybe that's why you're
in like
kind of connecting it. And
in
the
a big house
grossness.
versus a big hotel.
Yeah,
it's
I
also the
can.
kind of camera, like the kind of lens
That
I
too,
think that they're
dude,
using.
yeah.
It's
And
like
the
a kind of
color
wide
grading
angle going
seems kind
on.
of similar, maybe too.
Yeah, early 90s, so it kind of has a
Yeah.
similar look to
I
it.
gotcha.
It's just it kind of reminds me of that for
I could
various
see that.
reasons.
Yeah.
And somebody says Lionel a billion times in that movie, so
Yeah.
similarity there. Instead of Grandma, it's Lionel.
Me mum. So there you go. There's perfect double feature. Brain Dead and The Witches.
If you like The Witches, you'll love Brain Dead.
Brain Dead.
Whoa.
I recommend. Yeah. So let's go ahead and rate this thing. Let's do it. Out of 5, Randeezy, why don't you kick us off? How do you feel about The Witches?
Yeah, I feel like mostly good about this movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie, and I don't know how much I'll set that aside and how much I'll embrace it, but so I'm just going to talk myself through it. But the effects really are the standout here. The dings I have are, like I said, like the color and camera work when it's not like it has some good moments. The camera work does, but there's a lot of moments where it feels cheaper than the rest of the movie, and I really felt that this time more than I have in the past. I feel like the Deus Ex Machina of the assistant saving the day is kind of unearned and kind of slapdash. I feel like narratively, this is like not just that it's for kids; it's also seems kind of that element in particular seems kind of forced, and there's quite a bit in there that like feels like you really have to put your brain on the back burner to just let it pass, and which is fine because again, who this is for, is not me now. It's me when I was 7. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot I like about this movie, and quite a few things that just don't hit my adult film dork brain the same way now that I have to accommodate for. And I think after all that said and done, I still enjoy this movie quite a lot. I have quite a fondness for it, but on a few technical aspects, I'm not super on board with it. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5, I think.
3.5 from Randeezy. Juice, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel in a similar way. I was just trying to go over some like looking at some kids horror movies and how I kind of feel about them. This this is definitely up there for kids horror movies, and a lot of that, like Randy said, comes from the Jim Henson aspect of it. And the practical effects really stand out and are memorable. And then there's some other good stuff too. But I do think that there is this kind of level difference between some of my like absolute cherished favorite children's horror movies and this one. And some of it's hard because some of them are like animations. Like you look at a Coraline, I'm like, okay, that's like way better in a lot of aspects. So um yeah, so I mean, it does drop it down a little bit, but the negatives I noticed this time was that second act, like you said, it just kind of like drags along, and I was kind of surprised it took so long to get to the nice aspect, even though I do agree with you, there is a lot of good stuff leading up to that. The painting, like I said, a lot of those shots where they're like putting on the fake faces, the transformation, of course, all that stuff is good. Even getting to the hotel and it's just got that kid aspect of it, like running around wild in this big hotel. We see that in a lot of kids' movies anyway. So I mean, it's it's balancing it well in the first act, and then it seems to like drag itself in the second act. But that's where all the action is, so that's kind of weird. Yeah, I like it. I just think that it's played a lot. I think I don't like the ending, and I think there are some aspects in this movie where they rely too heavily on what it's made for kids without necessarily making good decisions. Like I think the kids aspects like mask some of those maybe like poor decisions in general. So I think I'm gonna land it at a 3.5 as well. I think there's a lot of good here and just ultimately capped.
Rob,
Rob,
give
high
us your
five.
3.5 vote now.
I think Rob's kind of frozen.
Oh, yeah, it seems like it.
And I was wondering if he could even hear me because, like, as I was spit, that's why I was like kind of stopping a little bit because I noticed he was like struggling to move.
I didn't catch that.
Bob,
Hey guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got some like really bad weather that just rolled in, so I think that giving my
Oh.
internet a bit of a hard time.
Okay.
Juice, can you say your score one more time? Because that's where you cut out. I heard everything
That's
before
what I
that.
thought. I was like sputtering in my review because I could see you starting to glitch out. Okay. Yes. So overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5. I think it's a good kids horror movie, but it's Bob, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Do I need to do it again?
Yeah.
Take 3.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5. I think it's a good kids horror movie, but ultimately it's just kind of capped. Bob, out of 5, what you gonna give The Beaches?
So I think we're all mostly on the same page here. I think this is a very good kids horror movie, but it's not a great kids horror movie. I think it leaves a lot on the table, leaves too much on the table. I think there was a really great opportunity they missed that may have been included in the book and just not ported over to the movie. But there is, they set up this kid losing his parents and then just really gloss over it and don't do anything with it. I think they could have like really dove more into that in the story and fleshed out the second and third act and made it less boring. Whether or not turns out the mice that he's given are his parents, or maybe he thinks they are and gets excited and then realizes they're not, and there's some sort of like lesson learned. There's some sort of like catharsis angle that is like set up in this movie like so clearly to me that they just really don't do anything with, which is it holds it back, I think. However, if you're like a 5-year-old watching this, you're not going to give a shit. But I think it's that primarily for me is what's keeping it from being a great movie, a great kids movie anyways. They set up this sort of like good witch situation. They set up the grandma versus the head witch situation, but they never really developed those either. There's just so much on the table that they just don't do a lot with. What's here though, I think there's a lot of comedy. The acting for the most part, I think is done very well. In the even when it comes to the kids, if they're not like great actors, they're acting like children. They're goofy. They're saying silly things. The practical effects are phenomenal pretty much across the board. I love how they set it up at the beginning as like this sort of classic fairy tale with all the witch rules, and they sort of outline how these witches can kill children in kind of any way they want, I guess. We get at least 2 different ways in this movie, but you're sort of left to believe that whatever potion they can come up with or whatever curse they can throw, they can murder these kids in any way they want to. Why they hate kids, we don't know. Maybe just because they smell like dog shit. Maybe that's the
Like
only
nothing
reason.
I'd ever smelled before in my life.
In my life, kid.
In my life. So I think there's a lot of fun stuff here for kids. There's a lot of spooky stuff here for kids. Some of it still holds up. The mouse running up the dude's pant leg is like true horror for me, I think. So there's stuff here, but it could have been better overall. Yeah.
That's funny. That's a very specific thing to have a hang up about, I think.
Yeah. It sticks out to me for
Yeah,
whatever reason.
Must.
You
You really must hate Richard Gere a lot.
We all know what that man's up to, and as long as he keeps it in the bedroom and it's consensual. that's
Between him
okay.
and the gerbil?
Yeah, you gotta the
I don't
gerbil
know.
I don't
Can
know
gerbils
that's
consent?
consensual.
all on the dotted line there, gerbil.
Bob's
Oh,
fine with that.
Christ.
It's on record.
It's
Yep.
well, as long as it's consensual. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. So we're all pretty much on the same page here with this one.
Okay, across the board. Whoa.
Yep. 3.5
Nice.
aggregate from the Straight Chilling crew. As is per usual, whenever you guys pick a movie that you'd like us to review, we suggest that you're very welcome to send in an email or a voicemail with your own thoughts and rating. And Matt sent over an email. Juice, you got that?
Yep, here are Matt's thoughts. Hello, Straight Chillin' crew. I hope y'all enjoyed this 1990s childhood classic. I picked this movie because I wanted to have y'all do another children's horror film again. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. It's been a while, not since Coraline, I think. Damn, has it been that long? Sharing our love of horror and spooky season can be a great way to bond with children in our lives. This movie carries a lot of weight for me, as in why I like creepy stuff and want to bang witches and all that. Damn. This is the one that makes you want to bang
Savage.
witches. That's interesting. The child acting is a little rough watching it now, but I think all the adults do a pretty bang up job. I believe the practical effects in the movie are superior to the CGI mess within the 2020 remake. I've never seen that. The film quality really puts you in the time and place. It has a charm to it that's missing in films today. All in all, for children's horror, the movie is a big hitter, 3.75. Signed Bridge Troll Matt. P.S. Bob, you wonder if I would fuck a pod person. You wonder? Really? You wonder? I find this an insult to my honor, my religion, and our friendship. Please get your head on straight. Hashtag throbbing with soju. Wow.
Hey, fuck you.
I think that last bit was tacked on there by your boy. Matt, we all
Speaking
know
of slapdash endings,
we all know that you're DTF, and that is indeed your religion.
Oh yeah.
that I'm a practicing DTF.
I can get behind that.
A level 9 DTFer. That's
Ooh.
my religion.
Whoa.
But yeah, thanks for picking this one, man. It's definitely something that I was happy to revisit. I have not seen that remake, but man, those trailers looked not
Yeah,
good.
not good. Yeah.
Seemed like a lot.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I've
it
never
felt
heard
like-
any good thing about it. Like I've never heard anybody
I
be like,
only
"Oh
heard
yeah,
bad
you
things,
really
yeah.
gotta watch this." So.
It
Yeah,
has
I
that-
haven't either.
that Hocus Pocus 2 vibe going for it. Like,
Yeah.
is what it. I don't know. It's
I forgot that existed. Oh my god.
that makes perfect
Oh
sense.
man,
Because there's no
That's-
reason to remember it.
Oh no.
there's no reason to.
Oh
remember.
no.
That's fine.
But yeah, this was a fun one to revisit, and I think it's really cool to every once in a while hit up a kids horror movie, because most of the time, we're not doing that, but I think it's important. It's important to have around, and it's important to keep making. And I wonder what kids are watching now. The YouTubes, right? Mostly the
They're
back
just
rooms.
watching the YouTube.
They're
Well, this-
watching Skibbity Toilet Saga.
I meant like in the horror genre, like what are kids into? The
Yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's that he
Freddy's.
got fingered for 5 nights or whatever.
Oh god, Bob.
That's
Children's horror, indeed.
5 Nights at Freddy's, the back rooms, I don't know what else. What else?
Bob,
is there?
you're
That's
talking
all.
about some devious things.
Basic, basically reality is probably up there as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, there to be so. I mean, so I was just doing a quick search of like children's horror film to compare, but I mean, I feel like in the not too removed from today, you have stuff like the House with the Clock in its walls or whatever, which was good. That they made like a Jack Black Goosebumps movie, which wasn't bad. Monster House isn't that old. Frankenweenie is like 10 years
Scary
old.
Stories to Tell in the Dark. That was good.
Yeah.
That wasn't, like,
PG-13.
so kids. Yeah, PG-13. But I don't know. I mean, there's some stuff that's still dropping. That Haunted Mansion came out last year. It was boo-boo, but some people liked it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Some people did. I'm not sure why, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah. So, oh man, but the problem with looking at this is articles like this pop up, which is like 35 movies to watch with your kids for Halloween, and I'm like, oh, buddy,
Oh, not yet.
it's
Not
coming.
yet.
It's coming.
It's so close.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I could like this is like around this. Like, this is like the same year of the year before the Addams Family came out,
Mm-hmm.
and like Angelica Houston in both of those is so fucking great, and it like
Yeah.
permanently colored my understanding of her as
Dude,
a
yeah.
person
Yeah.
Addams
to where
Family's-
like when I would watch, it's so good.
Both
But, like
of
when
them
I would
are
watch, when I would watch fucking Steve Zissou, Life Aquatic, with her in that or whatever. I had a hard time separating her from Morticia and the High Witch.
Well,
Her
even
spooky side and
completely-
so,
Wes
even,
Anderson side.
I mean, even
Yeah.
now it's like maybe close to 10 years removed, but like Stranger Things,
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Super 8 came out 2011. That's
Yeah.
I wouldn't
13
call
years
that
removed.
children's though necessarily. That's
Super 8?
think it was-
Super 8.
Kids on Bikes. Yeah. PG-13.
Yeah.
I think
it
that's.
is.
I don't think that's as young as this movie is intended for.
House with Clock in its Walls came out in 2018.
Hey, did you see that?
I did, yeah.
I gotta check that out. That's actually like it's an adaptation of a book by an author that I read a lot growing up. So
Oh,
I
Monster
just
House
never
is
watched it.
20 years old. Oh god.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God. Paranorman's 10 years old. So
that's a great
yeah.
movie.
Goosebumps 2015. God, I didn't realize that was that old. What
Well,
the fuck is happening?
What is time? But a flat circle.
Time goes by.
no.
It goes
There you go.
by.
Does it
Does it
stop?
stop though?
It don't
Come on, Bob.
stop.
You're stealing my
Oh.
call out there.
Sorry.
The hype man, this shit.
Sorry. Let
Hear me
us
hyping things.
let us keep rolling, gentlemen. Let's jump over into our Rotten Tomatoes segment. See what the critics and users think about The Witches.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gents guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is for The Witches on RottenTomatoes.com, starting, as always, with the critical reviews. There are 48 reviews from critics in the mix here, not too many, just under that 50 mark. I'm going to start with Juice today. Juice, out of those 48 reviews, what percentage would you say are positive reviews?
Damn, 48. That's not too much.
It's not.
I don't know. I generally think this is held in a positive light. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be similar to our score. I would say I'm gonna put it around 80.
80. All right. Bob, you've taken over, you taken under. What you taking?
It's a fair guess. I think I'll go with the over on this.
Okay.
With a what was her formula? 86 or am I just?
Formula 86.
I'll take the 86 then.
The boys.
All right.
The
boys.
formula.
For the formula boys. All right. Well, one of you is just 8 percentage points away from glory, and that person is Bob. This is a 94%.
Holy
whopping
shit,
94% for critics.
94. Whoa.
Impressive.
That's
That's
right.
a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
All right.
It's a
Well,
So
lot
congrats
too.
to Bob on that.
Whoa, that's a lot.
It is pretty much. That's not a small amount. I would argue that it's quite a lot. Yeah.
Bloody
I definitely-
nutters.
Fucking hell.
My favorite.
Those are rookie numbers.
My
Let's
favorite
go.
cookie, the Bloody Nutter.
Oh, Bob, why you gotta do that?
Wow.
You said it.
Wow.
Oh no,
Bob's over
I
here.
don't like that.
Blood.
Oh no, everybody, shut it down. We're shutting it down.
Justin's about to pass out on
If
camera.
we
Dude,
want
that'd be
to, if we want,
amazing.
if we
What,
want
you
to
gotta-
finish this,
What's your problem with
cast-
dick blood, bro? It's fine.
What's your problem
Just
with it's
chill,
natural
bro.
to bleed
Come
from
on.
the
God
dick.
damn, boys, y'all are gonna have to Randy with his sickness, and I'm gonna pass out. It's about,
You know?
show's about to just
It's
fizzle
Just
out.
me cackling.
It's not like
into
it's
the
your
abyss.
dick that's bloody.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all that's left of the cast. Blah, blah, blah. People are like trying to adjust the dial. What the fuck's wrong with this episode? Blah, 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 blah.
I don't see any marked difference between this and any other episode. Dick blood be damned.
Just another
Let's
show.
move on to let's move on to the audience
Oh,
reviews
man.
here. There are 50,000 plus audience ratings on Rotten Tomatoes for this film. I'm going to start in reverse order. Bob, out of those 50,000, did I say 5,000? I meant 50,000 if I did. Over 50,000 ratings, Bob, out of those, what percentage would you say are positive? Defend your title. Test your mind.
Bigger sample size. It's going to drive the number down. I can't believe how fucking high the critics was to begin with. So I'll take a 75.
75. All right. Juice, where are you coming in at?
Damn it. That's a good guess. Yeah, I think it's gonna be right around there. I agree. Big sample size. 94 is insane. I'm gonna $1 Bob. 76. I think it's close. I think it's
You
close to
slut.
that.
76.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna $1.
You bloody slut.
76.
Damn.
The bicentennial. All right. Well, one of you is 5 percentage points away from glory, and that is going to be Bobo. Bobo's taking a sweep this week. 70% is
70%?
Bob, the mic isn't picking up the dance you just did. I assure you that. Rob's just did a little
Sorry.
celebration dance.
Yeah.
I need to dance.
That is not how
audibly.
podcasting works.
It's just so sweet.
Luckily, we have a behind the scenes. Oh, man,
victory.
Bob.
Oh,
Hell skeet sweep, I guess.
You gotta
Big old
sweep
doinks.
the skeet.
Sweeping
Big
the
old
skeet.
doink.
Big old
The bloody
doinks.
skeet.
Oh, boys.
Big
Oh,
old
no.
doinks and Amish.
That's
Hell
not
yes.
okay. That's
Hell
not
yes.
Right.
okay, boys.
The critics' consensus for this film reads as follows: with a deliciously wicked performance from Angelica Houston and imaginative puppetry by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, Nicholas Roeg's dark and witty movie captures the spirit of Roald Dahl's writing like few other adaptations. I guess so, yeah. I mean, it's been a while since I read my doll, to be honest, so I can't.
Yeah, and I've never
can't
read this
remember.
one, so
I did,
I
but
didn't.
it's been since I think it was probably literally fourth grade that I last read this.
There you go.
Yep.
Well,
All right. Well, let's read some negative reviews and wrap this goddamn segment up. How about that?
do
Here's
it.
some negative reviews. Let's see how funny they are, and probably the record's not good on that, so we'll see. The Witches is more fun for parents than kids, and not all that much fun for anyone.
All right.
I don't know how this would be
Wrong.
better for parents than kids. Like what? I'm living proof that that isn't a mistake.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't make a lick of sense.
All right, let's read another one. The Witches feels like a throwaway feature rather than a fully realized fantasy adventure. I guess
It's not fully realized, I don't think,
It's
but
not throwaway.
I think they were trying, you know.
I throw you away, sir. I throw
Hell
you away.
Hell
Reviewer.
yeah.
All right. One more. Let's see if there's any
Person.
charisma in this one.
Person.
The combo of Roald Dahl and Nicholas Roeg promises something deep and dark, but Roeg unexpectedly includes ample amounts of ill-fitting humor that nullifies much of the mood. As
Oh,
for Dahl, he initially tried to have his name removed from the picture. Not initially, and not at all related to the humor in the movie. Like
I think
and they
that's
said that
fine
he-
to say, like that ending. That's yeah. They should have kept it. They should have kept the mice thing.
I think it's very dark, but like dark might have been good for me. I don't know. Like I don't know.
think
It
that's
just
fine.
it's so out of nowhere. This woman, I don't know
Yeah.
her name even now, having seen it like 2 days ago. Like,
And there's a naked child, which is not okay.
yeah, we kind of crossed some barriers there, and not the kind you want crossed, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, that's it for our Rotten Tomatoes segment. Bob, is there any more trivia you want to plumb out of this thing? Oh, Rob is not able to do anything. Is what
Oh
I'm
boy.
gathering.
Oh boy. Stormy weather. Stormy summers. Bob, you okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you again.
Gale Weathers ass motherfucker.
Randy
Oh,
was
he's
asking
gone.
if we have trivia.
He's gone again.
Yep.
Oh, please, weather, go away. I gotta end this episode. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Hey,
Hey
Bob.
guys.
Ho.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. What was the last thing you heard?
Yeah, we got trivia. I got
Okay.
trivia.
Okay, let's get to the trivia then.
You guys ready for it?
Time for trivia.
All right, here we go. Trivia. So this was the last film that Jim Henson personally oversaw. He passed away May 16th, 1990, and the movie was released on May 25th, 1990.
Oh,
In addition to that, Roald Dahl passed away November 23rd, 1990. So
what
they,
the fuck?
yeah.
90
This
was a
movie
rough
killed
year.
them both. God damn, the witches got them. Oh God.
The witches got him. He got. They got
Oh,
by
God.
the witches.
Yes.
Hey, Bob.
Hey,
Okay, yes, good. I
Hey,
wanted to see how long
yeah.
it took you to respond, because that took you like a full minute to respond to the last thing I said.
hi. Hello.
Keep going, Bob. Plow through.
Plow.
So there were a whole shitload of people that were considered to play the Grand High Witch. Amongst them, which is sort of circles back to us talking about Hocus Pocus a lot, Cher was considered apparently.
That
can see
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah. Cher. Angelica Houston has gone on record saying that Miss Ernst / the Grand High Witch is her favorite role she's ever done.
Whoa.
And she regularly dresses up as that character on Halloween.
That's awesome. I like Angelica Houston a lot more
Me
just
too,
based
yeah.
on that one piece of information.
That's
She
cool.
seems
Love it.
badass.
Yeah, I saw this is completely random, but like I was looking around for clips for Bumps Baby or whatever last minute, and I saw her on some podcast or something where the clickbait title was a quote from her saying that Jack Nicholson's dick was so huge or something along those lines because they
Whoa,
dated.
that's really
And I
random.
thought that was a very fucking hilarious thing to find in the middle of trying to find bumps from this children's movie.
Weird.
A lot
That's,
of big dick swinging in Hollywood, I guess.
that's
you know,
weird.
Jack's got a hog. He's got a hog.
Well, all right.
Real sweaty. The last thing I have here is by the time this movie was released in the UK, Rowan Atkinson had debuted on TV as Mr. Bean in 1990. He was apparently pretty damn popular as that character. Thus, the UK poster art and video cover for The Witches added him in a screenshot from the movie that kind of made him look like he was playing as Mr. Bean character, but he obviously wasn't.
Oh, I didn't. Wow,
Interesting. I didn't know-
1990. Yeah, huh?
Yeah, I thought that was a more 80s thing for some
Me
reason.
too. Yeah.
Maybe just
I-
because the way it looked. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they shelved this movie for like a year, so kind of sat on it for a while. He went and did other
Okay.
things and then put it out. Tried to cash in on that Mr. Bean fame.
Mr. Bean.
Around here, that means big money.
Mr.
Mr.
Beam
Bean.
fame.
Alright.
But yeah, that's all the trivia I got. Not a whole lot this week.
Right on. Well, I think Rob.
Let's jump over into our cooter of the week.
Straight chillin'.
Gooder of the week.
Juice.
Time warp.
Juice. What is a cooter and why do we hunt them? Well, thanks for asking, Bob. Well,
They say a computer can do my job better than I could damn do it.
let's just give it over to the Zoom AI. Zoom AI.
It's
take
for a
the
reason,
wheel.
right? Fucking hell.
They're doing this on purpose so that we
trying
rely
to
on
so-
the Zoom.
They're trying to subdue us. They're trying to silence our voices.
Okay, let me like restart my shit or something. This is
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna
buddy.
blow my nose. You ready for this? This hot shit, YouTube.
Oh, we're still gonna get to the voicemails.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, holy shit. Pop has not technically left yet, so off to a good start. Oh
think
wait,
he's restarting. I don't think he's restarting Zoom.
oh his system maybe.
Seems to be getting worse.
Ain't that just the way?
Damn Florida weather. Is there anything good in Florida?
Dude, in fairness, it's not fucking good weather anywhere right now. That shit, like, did I tell you guys that? I think I did, that I got interviewed by the fucking Washington Post because of
Yeah,
the
in your
heat.
garden. Oh, I didn't know it was about the heat. You said that they interviewed you in your garden.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was in the community garden, but they were there hunting down people to give comments about. We're apparently in an urban heat island, which is like, I guess, like
Fuck
a
does that
pocket
mean?
of extra. Oh yeah, a pocket of like extra hot, it's like microclimate that just hits
Ugh.
in urban areas, and we're right smack in the middle of one, which kind of explains why a lot of the fucking crops aren't doing great.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That's
it's
gross.
it was like 102 yesterday or something, or like when I was grilling out, it was
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
brutal.
It's hot
Yeah.
here, but it's not that hot. What but we're starting to get into the rainy season, so the rain will like kind of keep it somewhat cool.
Right.
But it'll just rain all the fucking time.
I looked and
no,
it's hotter here than it is in Jax, or it was like overall for the last week, which is crazy.
actually this week's gonna be pleasant due to the rain. The highest day we're gonna get is 90 on Friday, but it's 67, 65 in the lows,
Oh, that's
69.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually last week,
That's-
last couple weeks, it's hot as fuck.
That's much more pleasant.
That is.
Hello.
Babo.
Hi.
Bob. All right.
Okay, let's see if that helped anything. Jesus Christ.
You ready?
Where do we leave off?
Cooter.
Yeah, let me hit record
I
real
just-
quick.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Juice, what's Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Oh, Cooter's character type in a straight chilling exclusive. Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter. We want the cooter with the most points. The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug, arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, I think we got ourselves a cooter this week.
Yep. Miss Bruno's dad.
Mrs. Bruno's dad.
No, I meant Mr. Mr. I was like Mr., but I don't know his last name. So Bruno's dad. Change
All
course
right.
midstream.
Okay, we can talk about Bruno's dad real quick. Smug arrogance, check-a-rooney.
Ooh,
Check.
yeah.
Maybe some sexual
much.
deviance because he's like hitting on this switch in front of his wife. Like, come on, my
I
guy.
agree.
Check.
I agree.
Oh, we can
And she's
also maybe
also-
do Mr. Bean too. We'll go back to that.
Yeah, he's got cooter written all over him.
So smug arrogance, sexual deviancy, overall patheticness.
Check.
You think so, Bob?
Yeah,
give us
he's
your
just such a
argu-
piece of shit to everybody. I think it's kind of pathetic.
It's
Yeah.
arrogance for sure. Like, but like, I don't like.
Check.
You get
His
arrogant
son
enough,
gets
and I
turned
think it is
into,
pretty pathetic.
Also, well, I would maybe call his parenting kind of pathetic because he's like, oh, what's
Yeah.
Bruno done? Break
Whatever
some
he's
windows,
broken, we'll pay
fucked
for
some
it.
shit up. Let me pay you.
Fucked
for
some
it.
shit up with his
Did
bloody
he
dick.
fuck some bloody nutters up?
Your favorite cookie, right, Juice?
Oh yeah. So and then sexual deviance, manipulation. Maybe not.
Nah, I don't think
Just
so.
tries to throw his weight around.
Yeah.
Looking at Tyre, he looks fine
British.
dressed. Yeah,
He looks
British.
British.
He looks like royalty.
Well, he's not wearing
so-
socks and sandals and a football jersey.
Oh God, that would be looking at Tyre. Oh, socks and sandals. If you're listening to this podcast, do not wear socks and sandals. Don't do it. Don't wear sandals, actually. Unless you're wearing flip flops to the beach, don't wear sandals. It's a little
I'm gonna
tip
wear
there
'em even
from
harder.
Juice.
You just lost us thousands of listeners by saying that.
all
I want you to
all
know.
in Great Britain.
I'm just trying to help you. Socia's just trying to help you out. All right. So let's go to Mr. Bean. Sexual deviance? Yes.
Yes.
Is it sexual deviance?
I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know,
he's
kinda
sleeping with
got
his
something going on.
employee. You shouldn't
Yeah,
sleep with
okay,
your
yes, that's
employee.
true.
That's fair. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Deal.
Come on,
Check.
boys.
Fair.
Come on. Come
Check,
on. Soju's
check.
the only one around here.
Woke ass Soju out here, virtue signaling his way to victory.
Ruining our show. Welcome to Wokecast. Oh
Trying
my
to confuse
goodness.
me with your liberal biblicisms.
My liberal biblicisms. So I would say, maybe that's the only one he hits, though, to be fair, though. Maybe overall patheticness. He gets bossed around a lot.
He does,
The
but he
grandma
also is, like,
owns him.
constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
true.
I don't think
He
he's
ca-
gonna
he's
hit
kind of
3,
just
though.
sniveling as fuck. Like, that's not a maybe
Kind of
that counts
pathetic.
towards
That would be the
pathetic. Yeah.
patheticness. Yeah.
He's kind of like a shit-eating motherfucker.
Yeah.
in
but
every
He's
other
way.
than
just a
that-
shit-eating motherfucker.
God damn.
I think we can
Not
all
a
agree on that.
cooter.
Mother.
Yeah. Yeah,
But not-
there's all kinds of pieces of shit in this world. Not everyone.
They're
is a
not all
cooter.
cooters. That's
That's
fair.
right.
They don't all eat shit or fuck mothers. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna.
Whoa.
What about the witches?
Grow up.
Grand High Witch specifically, but all the witches really, because they're all following what she tells them to do. So they're definitely got manipulation, smug arrogance. I think both of those for sure. Looking at Tyre, I think is an easy
Yeah, their
one.
saggy ass skin. Jesus Christ.
Sexual deviance. I don't really think that's. I don't think that's gonna.
I don't
hit.
know that hip
if you count your
thrusting.
Bruno. hip
Well, that's
thrust.
true, dude. If she actually was getting sexual gratification, that's what it looked like. I guess we
That's what it
can't
looked
prove it.
like.
But
Yeah.
it looked like she was
Keeping the beat.
creaming
That's what she's
her
doing.
jaws.
I think at that point she was
don't think-
she was dusting her drawers.
Oh my god. It's probably green. Anyway, let's move on. I think that's a cooter.
Girl, these
Yeah, I
straws
don't
are
think there's-
dusty.
Jesus Christ.
Were you cutting wood earlier?
look of it.
What?
Been cutting planks in these shorts, girl.
Cutting planks. What's with the sawdust?
That's my wood cutting panties.
Dear God. Hey, I think we locked up a cooter.
We got 'em.
didn't we?
Yeah, the Grand High Witch and all the other witches, I think. Yeah. Oh, just all the witches, I think, got them.
The Cruelty
Bruno's
to Children
dad's-
Committee or whatever.
Cooter Light, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just sucks.
All right.
Yeah, he just sucks. We got him. We got him. Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Boys,
what's
let's skip what we've been watching because we got a pile of voicemails.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get into our hotline screams.
Hotline scream.
If you guys are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, hit us up at 904-638-3231. We got 3 voicemails this week. First up, we're going to hear from Alex. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hi guys, this is Alex. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller. You didn't make it that easy to leave a voicemail because the phone number isn't posted anywhere, and I had to go back and listen to the episode. Anyway, so I have a prompt. I was wondering if you could choose a horror movie setting where you'd want to live, what would it be? Mine would be The Fog, because it's a super quaint, cute little seaside town. And what made me think of that is because my husband and I just moved down to Plymouth, Massachusetts, where the new Thanksgiving film was supposedly filmed. Although not really, because no one sounds like Ben Affleck in a Dunkin' commercial. And I also saw on social media there was a question on which cartoon setting people would want to live in that they watched as a kid. So yeah, I would want to live in the town that The Fog was filmed in, and the one I would least want to live in is in The Thing because I hate the snow. Anyway, I love you guys, and I love how silly and giggly you were in the latest Mothman episode. I don't know if you guys had a bunch of candy beforehand, but lots of giggles. Very fun to listen to. Talk to you later. Bye.
How did she stumble on our scheme to get more listens by only having our phone number listed in the episode? Brilliant.
We're all
Got it.
hopped up on candy. That's what.
Yes. Candy.
It's called sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
A candy called sleep deprivation.
The sweetest candy of all.
Oh,
Sleep
yeah.
deprivation. Yeah, so that's a solid question.
That is a cool
horror
question,
movie
yeah.
setting you'd like to live in. Honestly, The Fog is a solid choice.
Is a good
That
choice.
is a solid choice. Yeah.
Do you
Um,
guys have any thoughts?
My,
Oh yeah.
I mean, my immediate feeling, like I feel like this is definitely subject to change because I'm freewheeling here a little bit, but I love the Pacific Northwest a lot. So the town of Twin Peaks, I think, qualifies maybe, and I would pick that. A place I would least like to, though, I was
Hills
thinking
have eyes.
on the
Oof.
well, that's pretty fucking yeah, it's sandy, so you might have actually taken over. I was gonna say on the other end of the Lynch spectrum, I would very much not to like to live in the city that Eraserhead takes place. That's
There you go.
a heinous
Ugh.
nightmare seacape. But yeah, maybe the sand is more attuned to my personal hates.
Yeah.
Juice?
What about you guys?
I was thinking, since we were just talking about last week, it's not technically horror, but like Goonies popped in my head, or even on the city that Dead and Buried was in, looked like pleasant. It's another one of those
Well.
kind of like seaside towns or whatever, small kind of seaside towns. Also, too, the beginning, I love the beginning of Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's one that I love to like kick off every autumn with, and it like for an autumn setting, if I had to like go to a little small town for autumn, It would be that's my autumn vacation home. Something wicked this way comes.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you could easily I could just say like as above, so below. Want to live in Paris or Godzilla -1. Want to live
You
in
want to
Tokyo.
live in the catacombs? The catacombs adjacent to hell?
Well, I could start off.
Who
with,
doesn't?
You know, who can afford the rent though?
Well,
yeah.
but
I don't
yeah,
know. Like
good
if we're
question.
counting the Goonies, then I would say Astoria because
Yeah.
I've lived there and it is fucking a great town. I love that town.
It looks beautiful. It
Yeah.
really does.
Mm.
Yeah, the Goonies. Yeah, that would be great. The Fog, The Mist, any of these like little seaside towns,
Yeah.
the little communities look beautiful.
Jaws.
I think Trick or Treat, whatever town that
Mm.
is, man, they do
That's great.
they do fall / Halloween
That's your fall
up
home?
so
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like that giant parade they have rolling through. Like, man, sign me the fuck up for that. That sounds awesome.
I would say, yeah, that sounds great. I kind of had the same thought. If we're going with a Halloween home, I'm
Yeah.
going with the unknown.
That's the thing. You got a summer home, you got an on because like the little town of the birds would be like so pleasant
Oh my
too.
god, I've been there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
I lived near there
but-
as well, and it is beautiful.
But yeah, so I keep thinking like these summer destinations for the beach, but then I need an autumn destination for the
Yeah,
Yeah.
4. We should
Amity.
one for each season.
Season,
and
yeah.
then- yeah.
Amity, as you know, means friendship.
Oh yeah,
As you know.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't there's a lot of good choices, but yeah, some seaside town plus some awesome autumn location is what we need.
Yeah, we need a
combination.
timeshare in Salem or some
Yeah.
shit, or in the unknown. is
Straight
where I wanna
join
go.
the straight chilling timeshare. All you have to do is give us 15 minutes of your time and you won't regret it. I swear.
Yeah, if you stick around till the end, you'll get some delicious candy called sleep deprivation.
We accept Bitcoin.
It's free. Yeah, that's a solid prompt actually. If you guys are listening and you're thinking of some awesome settings that you'd like to live in or would hate to live in, call in next week. Let us know. That's a good one. Next up, moving right along, we're gonna hear from Sarah. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hey guys, this is Sarah. Last time I called was in October, I believe, or September. It was just about having like a Halloween themed movie marathon, and that was super fun, but I never updated y'all. So I just wanted to chat and catch up. So first of all, let me wish you guys a happy summer, specifically a happy summer game. According to Gravity Falls, that's June 22nd. And I don't really know exactly what I'll be doing during June, like for the rest of this month, but I'm pretty tired from school and work. So just keeping my celebration of the start of spooky season super simple with some s'mores, apple cider, and another horror movie marathon. So my goal for the movies is to keep it summer themed. So I'll be rewatching Evil Dead and then watching Sleepaway Camp and X for the first time. And I'm really looking forward to it. Anyways, I was going through some older episodes for the podcast, like around episode like 360 or so. And somewhere around there, y'all mentioned making movies or films as kids, and I was wondering, like, what kind? Was it always the horror genre? Was it during high school, or were you guys younger? I'm just wondering if you guys would be able to spare any details, because it piqued my interest. Also, around that same, I think it was the Clue episode specifically, but Randy was reading some pretentious negative reviews, and he took it so personally. He said, and I quote, "He can safely feast on my taint." And on that note, I'll end the message. Yeah, that's all for me. Keep telling, boys.
Thank you, Sarah. I stand by that wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Randy
no
has
shame
made
whatsoever
that
on my end.
statement a few times.
It's his slogan, really,
Yeah,
now.
that's how he lives his
You know,
life.
I'm all about safety, and I'm all about giving motherfuckers what they deserve.
I
Taint
think,
feasting?
I think my preferred is the wettest part of my ass, maybe, is
Just
something
the
like
fattest, wettest part
Yeah.
of my asshole. Yes, that is something that
That's
I have.
somewhere in our history. I don't know where, but it's
Also,
out there.
this movie is a fart in the pants of America. Is
Yeah.
probably another one I got a
If-
lot of feedback on.
If you have
Yeah,
access
yeah.
to our like 100 wrap up clips or whatever compilation. It's probably in there
Episode
somewhere.
hundreds, 200, 300.
But at
Yeah,
that
every-
point, going through all those would probably take a couple hours as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Godspeed
Yeah.
with that. Also, a summer movie marathon. That sounds like a pretty
That
damn
sounds
good
awesome.
one, by the
Yeah,
way.
that sounds
Yeah,
fucking
good
great.
call. X for the first time is
X.
a good way to cap
Yeah,
that off.
That's good.
Sleepaway
Yeah,
Camp.
that sounds
Yeah, of
like a lot
course.
of
Evil
fun.
Dead. Yeah, that's solid.
Yep.
That's great.
Yep.
I'd never really watched Gravity Falls, so the concept of Summerween being on June 22nd, that was unfamiliar to me. Did you watch that show? You familiar with that?
I never
So
did,
I
but
tried to watch a little bit, but like
Oh.
only season 2 is on Disney. So when we went to Japan last year, I remember suddenly it was in the Japan Disney Plus, and so I watched a couple episodes. But when I got back to Korea, it was back only season 2, so I never finished it. But I think that might be the solstice. Is June 22nd?
Oh, maybe,
Summer
yeah.
solstice. I think that's what it might
Okay.
be.
That makes that makes
Walpurgisnacht
sense.
and Summerween. Yeah,
I'm
we got it
pretty
made,
sure.
baby.
And just actual Halloween. We got 3 in a year.
I know. It's great.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, so Friday. So this one said, man, I don't know if it changes based on like the lunar code, but this one said Friday, June 21st at 5:50 a.m. was the summer solstice. So maybe it's got like a little shift or whatever. So yeah, around June 22nd.
Nice.
She had said something else in there too that I was going to react to.
Yeah,
Apple's
What was
fine.
it?
she was asking about the home movies we used to make when we
Oh,
were
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Oh,
that's
right.
Good
Right.
call, Bob. I don't-
Horror
did we
movies?
do
No,
any
I don't think
horror?
so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't
It's all
think we were
comedy,
bold enough
really.
to do that.
Yeah.
It was just skits, and a
Yeah,
lot of them
yeah.
done with like action figures that we were filming as we moved them. Like we did some
Yeah.
bad stop motion, terrible stop motion.
I'm
I
trying to
remember
think
the
of
one
some
I
that we
will.
did.
I
The
remember doing, like,
shotgun.
actually, no, we did. Oh, I did anyway. This actually wasn't with you guys. It was with our buddy Alex and a few other people. We did, and Chris. We did a sort of a Scream parody-ish thing where it was like a murder mystery sort of thing where the person who was killing people was wearing literally one of the Scary Movie Scream masks with a silly face on, and it was a very, very, very dumb thing that I really love. I still have a VHS copy of that. And then there's one that you and I did, Bob, that was not horror at all, but it was us starting the microwave with, I think, a burrito in it while Mr. Biggs, what is it?
No, it was
Nice to be with you.
was that? I thought we did something
was
with
Mr. Big.
green onions too. Maybe we did a
We
Mr.
did
Big
both,
thing.
but
Okay.
I think we did Mr. Big for sure. I just filmed it like it was our random equals LOL phase of life, and
Yeah.
that
Some
one.
random stuff. We made a shot this like short skit thing about like when you're going to the car, whoever calls shotgun rides up front,
Shotgun, yeah.
Oh,
and
the
like it
shotgun
escalated
stuff.
into this brawl where people were getting like
Yeah.
murdered
Oh,
and
yeah.
super
I remember I
goofy.
jumped. We had like an awesome shot of me coming out of the pool holding a sledgehammer for
Yeah.
some
Oh
reason.
Yeah.
my god. That holy shit, dude. Blast from the
It was like
past.
bad fight sequences. It was a lot of fun. to
Holy
make.
fuck. We did
Oh,
that
and
one
of
about
course
the
in
joke with
college-
the duck with the bill or whatever. Something about
Oh,
the
yeah.
apothecary. About, like,
Apothecary.
Tackling or whatever.
Duck walks into an apothecary and says, "Put it on my bill."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Greatest
right.
joke.
That's right.
I've
We-
ever told.
We
And then
did that like
there was
puppet
that
thing.
music video thing.
Yeah, that's
the,
what
yeah.
the shadow puppet
puppet.
thing.
Shadow puppets, yeah.
Yeah, that was
For
that
a
was like a 24-hour, or not even 24 hours. It was like an 8-hour production that we just kind of threw
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
We worked
with
hard on it.
with about at least a dozen people in
Yeah,
my
about,
parents'
yeah.
Florida room.
It was
Yeah.
a music video for our buddy Alex, and it
Yeah,
was
he wrote a
fun as fuck.
song. Yeah, it was great.
So
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
that's still out there. I don't know if anything else
I
is
think
out
that's
there
on
really
YouTube
that
somewhere. I
anybody
don't
can
know.
watch.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
I'm not sure how much of this I would actually share with anybody because
yeah, but no real horror. Pretty much
No
comedy,
horror stuff, yeah.
yeah.
goofy nonsense.
I don't think any of us believed we could be scary, but we believed we were
No,
funny.
it
as
was
fuck,
killing
and that's been the
time.
through line of our whole lives. Is we think we're hilarious.
And we make
Yeah.
each other laugh. That's
That's
fine.
all it takes, really.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Thanks for calling, Sarah. Hope you had a happy summer ween and you're enjoying X and all your other summer themed horror movies. That sounds like a solid lineup you got. Last but not least, we're gonna hear from your boy Steve. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Hey there, yes, stud muffins. It's Steve. So here I am a few weeks late, just devastated to hear that my double voicemail from a few weeks ago was cut off, just cut down in its prime. And then to hear, hey man, just call back with what you had to say. I don't fucking remember what the hell I said. Actually, I did have everything. I went on such a rant. I actually texted bullet points to myself. That's how much. That's how committed. I was about to downplay it, self-deprecate, but that's how committed I am to you guys. I'm going to spin it positive. Anyway, so I left off at saying, hey, those Haunting in Venice movies. I do remember that part. Someone, one of you fine gentlemen, had mentioned that you also recently learned that it's part of a trilogy. I had no idea. So I watched the Haunting in Venice movie. I loved it. I had never heard of that Hercule Poirot, Hercules Poirot for us ignorant Americans. No idea. Never heard of that character before. Didn't know it was an Agatha Christie book. I was like, huh, that's why this bitch is popular. These are pretty good. So anyway, love that movie. Again, that atmospheric tone, I just fucking love it. Like that spooky castle, the World War II time period setting. Everything was just so good. I'm like, God damn, this is why like 4K exists. Maybe for something cooler. I don't know, like the wave scene in Interstellar, something like that. But it didn't hurt. It was awesome. Really enjoyed it. So after one of you mentioned that there were two others, I watched Death on the Nile, did a little research, Death on the Nile, and then Murder on the Orient Express. And the Orient Express was fantastic. It's not spooky. It's just like a whodunit, but again, it's on this like snowy train. All these years ago, it's just a really cool vibe, and I love that movie. It did not end like I thought it was going to. I'm like, I got this shit figured out. I did not have it figured out. So, Death on the Nile movie, it's definitely the weakest of the three, in my opinion. Still a good movie, but yeah, they're not spooky, but if you liked The Haunting in Venice, if you kind of like that murder mystery, whatever, I would recommend checking those other two out. And my other point was that the reason I'm so behind on these episodes is because I've been caught up in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm a New York Rangers fan, living in New Jersey. We were brutally knocked out by your scumbag Florida Panthers.
Just gonna have to call back again.
Now I want to make. I gotta be honest. Look, I think it's only fair that we play his next one, and here it goes. There you go. We got you in there, buddy. Don't you worry. We look out for you.
Damn. I don't know anything. I'm
Brutal.
not on the competitive end of that, so that's
Yeah, we ain't big hockey boys around here.
No.
We ain't goons. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know the Stanley Cup. Like, I don't know anything. I didn't know that Florida
don't know
had a
anything about
team or
hockey.
what they were called, or that they were even apparently good.
yeah. I didn't know that.
I'm not used to Florida having winning teams of anything. So that's
Well, I mean, we got that Buccaneers and the Dolphins, Randy.
Are they good? I don't know.
Randy.
Buccaneers won the Super Bowl like a couple years ago with Tom Brady.
Did they? Who gives a fuck? Anyway.
Oh my lord.
A lot of
Yeah.
people, apparently.
Steve. But yeah, like the Poirot,
Calling in.
man.
Oh yeah,
Hercule
so those
Poirot,
yeah,
like,
so
that's-
there's the train one,
Orient Express.
Orient Express, and then the
Yeah.
second one was on a boat in Egypt on the Nile.
Death on the Nile. Yeah.
And then so they don't all have that spook because that's the whole point is
No.
they changed.
That's why I was so excited, like to when they
Yeah.
announced that trailer, and I saw the Haunting in Venice trailer. I was like, oh shit, Kenneth Branagh's
Yeah.
Poirot's back, and it's like spookified. I love this. I was so excited
Yeah.
about that, and it's a good movie.
But
I think Murder on the
honestly,
Orient
yeah.
Express is my favorite, though.
they each have like a different kind of season to me because I think it's
Yeah.
more wintry on the train one, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's snowy as fuck. Yeah.
And then you have the haunted one definitely has more Halloween autumn vibe, spooky, and then the Nile one feels like summer because they're on a boat on the Nile and Egypt,
I
so it
think
feels like
there's-
hot. So it's good for each season so far. So
We need
I
spring.
wonder if there's another one.
Where's
coming up.
spring?
I feel like there's
shoot
another
it
one
in the
coming.
tulip fields of the windmills.
Hamsterdam
something
2?
like that.
They're making a sequel. That's what it's going to be. It's a
There you go.
Poirot movie.
Poirot.
Well, there's no shortage of Poirot stories, as I
Poirot.
understand it,
Poirot.
from Agatha Christie, and those are all from.
I never
those are
saw
all from
Death on the
Agatha Christie
Nile.
novels.
It's
I never saw
solid.
that one either, actually, but I had heard the same thing that he said, which is that it's kind of the weakest of the batch. And so
Yeah.
I just never really got around
Honestly, they're all like pretty consistently like
Yeah.
they are what they are. They're fun for like a
Yeah.
watch, but I never like crave to watch them. But they're fun.
to it. Yeah,
I'd rewatch
I like this one.
Haunting in Venice. It was fun.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
like purists that really don't like the Kenneth Branagh
Oh
Poirot at all, but I like it fine. So
Yeah, but they're
works for
fun.
me.
They're like fun, low stakes movies to me. I guess that
Yeah.
once that they're the kind of movies though that once the mystery's kind of gone, I kind of lose some interest. But it's a fun ride.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't feel that way about Murder on the Orient Express. Like I watched it a couple times because I liked seeing like
Yeah.
in process all of the
Yeah.
dots connect, you know.
Yeah.
But
But they're
I don't know
good.
if
I
that's
do
true,
like
will be
them.
true
I
of
do
all of
like
them.
them. Yeah.
Well, hey,
So
thanks for
cool.
calling in, Steve. You're just gonna have to call back again, and
Is that time or am I
We're gonna
hit us
yeah,
up.
get you a stopwatch, my man.
3 minutes. Set it.
But
Again, if you guys-
but thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
For sure.
calling, buddy.
We
appreciate
give
it.
you shit, but we're playing.
Honey,
Uh,
you've got a big storm coming.
I don't know what that means. Call in 904-638-3231. If there's a horror movie setting that you would like to live in or would hate to live in, call in. Let us know. Anything else you guys want to throw out? Any prompts for next week?
Oh man, I think that's a great prompt. Honestly, I think.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
Alex did our work for us, basically.
Next
I'd
week
like
is
to-
all about is a movie about fashion. So, what's your most fashionable? What's your most fashionable item?
Oh
Yeah.
man, I have none.
I have
Pass.
none.
I wouldn't know where to begin, even claiming that something is fashionable. To be honest with you.
What's in fashion? Jinkos, Randy.
Jinkos
Huge,
are back.
giant
Oh.
jeans are in
I
fashion.
gotta get.
They are.
Okay.
They
get
really are.
Jinkos. Oh my god, I gotta go get my Jinkos.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
So,
my god.
Next week we're talking about another Patreon pick. This one was chosen by Logan. The movie is Deerskin from 2019. It's the dude that directed Rubber. I'm blanking on his fucking name now. Same director though. French
Isn't he
director.
French, yeah.
Yeah, French language film. Check out Deerskin. Get ready for next week's show. I was particularly excited about this one. I hadn't seen it. I watched it today. but
Quentin
before-
Dupieux.
Thank you, Depew.
Dupieux.
I hadn't seen it before, but I was super stoked to look at the runtime and see it was like 75 minutes long.
Yeah.
Mm.
This
Love
is
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is a fun one.
Oh,
I'm excited
Beautiful.
for
I like
next
that.
week. Get healthy,
Nope.
Randy,
Haven't
so
seen
we
it
can have
yet.
a lively discussion.
Take care of yourself.
I would love to not feel like dog shit. Thank you.
You don't want to
Yeah.
feel the way children smell? Can't imagine
That's true.
why. Check out Deerskin. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, call us 904-638-3231. Hit us up on the social medias. We're everywhere. Just search Straight Chilling Podcast. We'll pop right up. And until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
We've got 3 cars.